Hi, this is Jessie Ann Nichols George, and I'm coming to you today because I want to share with you why I'm not only going to be your next choice for a speaker and for doing employee workshops and working with teams and growing your company, but why I'm going to be your number one choice. And that is because I'm bringing new and different things to the table. What I work with is I'm an author that has created 2 books called Activating Compassion and Activating Compassion, the Workbook. I'm also in the process of creating 2 more books that are based on relationships. I have a broad range of things from personal areas of life right on through companies and corporate things. And what's different today is companies have a lot of people coming to them to work for them. They might be getting a lot of employees, a lot of applications in, but what's happening is those people may just be gone out the door the second the market gets a little bit better. And I'm here to help you get a team of people that wants to stay with you because they love being with your company. They're devoted, they're loyal, they want to be a part of the team that you're creating. They want to be a part of what you're doing. And not only that, I want to get them to a point for you where they're taking the extra steps, the extra miles that are going to keep your customer retention high. They're going to keep your customer base loyal. They're going to be happy. They're going to be looking forward to coming to work because of what they can do for people there, because of what they can do in their job, because of the satisfaction they have, and because of what they're bringing, the accomplishments that they're making day after day after day. Now, I've got a few different areas that you can hire me for, and that would be for motivational speaking. That could be coming in and working with specific groups, maybe a CEO group, a sales team, customer service teams, things like that. Any groups like that. We can also do weekend retreats. There's a whole variety of things. And I bring to the table an aspect of having over 30 years, actually probably more like a little over 35 years experience of working with people in bettering their lives, bettering their performance, and creating true fulfillment and success and achievement in their life. And this goes beyond the money. So what if you had employees that were coming to you, working with you, and staying with you for something more than a paycheck? That's going to be pretty incredible, isn't it? What if they were excited and happy to be in your workplace day after day? That means fewer sick days, no unexpected absences. It means a place where people are working together and everything is coming together in that company for you. So I want to touch on a couple of things. When I do workshops, when I do retreats, what I'm doing is I'm bringing in things that are real and personal. I'm taking these big giant concepts like compassion and putting them into everyday life where it's applicable and it's easy to understand and it hits home right here in the heart. And why is the heart important? Because that's our power center, okay? The heart is the new power tie. Think of it that way, okay? So when we're coming from here and we're powerful in here, we're going to be powerful on the outside. We're going to be powerful in what we're presenting to other people. Now, some of the greatest things that I do is I leave people wanting more. So be prepared to hire me again and again and again to come back and work with your people. And the reason I say that is, for example, I've even worked with groups that maybe didn't have a lot of budget to work with, but by the time I was finished with a couple of hours in a workshop with them, they were ready to do a full weekend retreat because they were that excited about how it was changing their life in a short period of time. Now, the other thing that I'm bringing is I'm delivering high value. Okay, it's no more just a pitch to sell you a bunch of stuff. It's actually about bringing in components that are usable, that are tangible, that are beyond the hard skills and the soft skills, right? We've talked about that in business for years and years and years. And this isn't about a bunch of standard marketing techniques. This is what I'm calling spirit skills, heart skills. And these are the skills that are going to set you, your company, and your employees apart into a whole new level that is part of the whole new dimension and the emergence that's happening everywhere. So we've got a lot to do. I've covered the types of groups that we can talk with and that I can address and that I can work with. Now it's time to get into a little bit more. I've talked about improved customer service. Satisfaction is going to be one of the things you're going to get. Your clients are going to be happier. You're going to have better relationships with them. And you know what? When you have better relationships with people, guess what? They're going to be there forever. They're going to go out and they're going to market you. Right there, that's an asset, right? What if you could put your customers to work marketing you, marketing your company, bringing you new business? That's a big deal, isn't it? Absolutely. Well, that's what I've been doing in my business, is building that loyalty, building that relationship, and now I have people constantly coming to me. It takes 6 months to get on my radio show, or longer right now, because that's how far I have guests booked out, because that's the amount of demand I have coming into me. I'm being picked up daily and constantly by different groups and organizations and media that wants to put me out there. Not because I've gone to them, but because I've delivered high value over and over again. And now I want to share that with you. I want to bring that into your company, and I want to make things work even better for you. So let's talk about that a little bit more. In addition to that, you've got higher retention, right? Happier customers means higher retention. They're marketing for you. You've got greater employee satisfaction, which means fewer sick days. It means no unexpected, where's my employee that day, what's going on, upset, disgruntled, theft, things like that. You don't have to worry about those things because they're watching your back. What if your employees were really watching out for you and they were really bringing in and contributing instead of wondering what they were going to get? That's going to be an amazing place, isn't it? Absolutely. So it's about setting your company apart, and that's what Spirit Skills do. Now, there are a variety of different topics that I can talk on with you, or workshops I can do. And if any of these don't meet your needs, guess what? I'll be happy to customize it for your needs, your specific goals and things that you're working on with your employees in your company. So let's take a look at that. I can do things like motivation. I can do things like building confidence, improving sales. How about how to read your customers better? You know what? When you learn how to read your customers, it's not about evaluating them or judging them. It's about really reading what's going on, really listening to their needs. These are skills that they told in the past you can't teach. Well, you know what? You can teach them. I can teach them anyways, and I can share your employees' skill sets that are going to make them highly functional and much more satisfied in the job. Especially a sales team that's working what? On commission? Can you imagine that? They bring in that many more sales for you. Your business is thriving. They're making higher commissions. So they're going out, they're being able to have more fun, they're being able to do more with their life, and that means happier employees. All the way around, everybody wins in this situation. Now, in addition to that, reading people better, I've got a variety of other things that we can do. We can reduce stress, teaching employees how to reduce stress. They come in, they've got a lot of things happening in their personal lives, and you know what? You can't afford to have that in your workplace. You know that, I know that. Now it's time to help them get there so that they can de-stress quickly and easily and not worry about it. Relationships, how do they build relationships with their co-employers? How do they build that with managers? How do managers build that with the people that are under them? These sorts of things. How do they build relationships with your clients that are going to last? So these are important things, all going to come down to being a bigger, better, thriving company for you. And in addition to that, we can also go on to things like developing their personal best. How do they become successful? How do they excel themselves? Because when an employee is excelling themselves, they're feeling confident in their communications, they're feeling confident in being their self, then they are going to do a much more amazing job for you. So that's going to increase all those satisfaction things that I've already talked about. And then we can also look at decision making. How do you teach your employees to make smart decisions in a moment's notice, right? You want them to keep the customer happy, but you don't want them to give away the shop. How do we know that making decision A versus decision B is going to be the right thing that's going to bring those lasting results? Those are things I can teach as well. We can also look at clearing blocks and obstacles, both as a team, both as an individual, because you know what? When your employees are blocked, when they've got obstacles going on personally, then they're not going to be as high functioning. They're not going to be able to do as good of a job as you need them to do. And you need them to be doing their personal best. If they get rid of those blocks and obstacles, they're going to be happier as a person. And somebody who's happier as a person is going to be happier as an employee. So that's always going to work to your benefit. Now, I can also do things on mindfulness. How do we get into focus? How do we get into the present? How do we get into the moment? And that's where we really have attention for our employees, for our team, for our clients, for the people that we're working with, for what we need to do on our job. Even if we're not doing customer service things, it just raises our performance, because when we're in the moment, we're a higher functioning employee. And that's pretty awesome for you as an employer, isn't it? Now also, what about connecting with yourself? Okay, this is another important thing, because a lot of people out there, they're not familiar with who they are. They're not familiar with how to get connected again, right back here in the spirit and the heart space. And when you're connecting with yourself, you're focused, you're efficient, and you can really get clarity on what you're doing. You can come in, you can go through your day, and you can be productive. And that productivity is, sometimes people think, oh, I don't know, I've got employees that don't want to be productive. But that productivity is an amazing thing to have, because when your employees feel productive, they're going to feel better about themselves. When they feel better about themselves, back to being a better employee. So there's a lot of different things like that that we can look at. In addition, I can customize it. Do you need something that's focusing on a specific issue or a specific need that your team or your employees are struggling with? I can do this for you. We can set up all different kinds of plans. So talk to me and let's get your employees going. Let's get your company thriving, even in a time where they say companies can't thrive. It doesn't matter what the times are. You can still be a thriving, incredible business that is bringing people who want to put you out there, who want to get you known, who want to make you a better company. And I want to help you get there. So one of the ways to contact me is through email. That's the best starting point, by the way. And my email is Jessie, Jesse, at JessieAnnNicholsGeorge1. That's the number 1.com. Okay. The website where you can also look up and read more about the work, listen into some of the archive shows that I do on my radio show, which is Activating Compassion in the Midnight Hour. Check out some different things, my history, my background, what I'm all about, where I've come from, on my website, JessieAnnNicholsGeorge1.com. If you'd like to check out some of the events that I do on my own as well, outside of corporations, you can also do that at JessieAnnNicholsGeorge.eventbrite.com. So those are some great options to get you started with connecting me. Now, a few little other things you might be wondering. Jessie, I'm sold on you. I want you there. I want you to come in and I want you to make my business thriving, my employees happy, and I'm ready to go. So what do we do? Well, besides that contact, you might be wondering, what about price? Well, I've got some basic prices, but what we need to do is we need to look at your needs and what you're really wanting to have happen. So that means, are we talking about a workshop? Are we talking about a speaking engagement? Are we talking about a keynote speaker for an event that you have going on, or a presentation that you need done? So let's talk about what it is. How much time is that going to involve? Is it going to require travel time? Are we talking about how many employees? Are we talking about 4 employees? Are we talking about 500 employees, 5,000 employees? What is it? Whatever your needs are, I can meet it, but we need to look at these different dimensions so that I can get you an accurate price. Now, also, in addition to this, we can look at a variety of different things to add in. If I'm doing a speaking engagement for you, for example, as a motivational speaker, then, or a keynote speaker, then what I can do is we can also look at things like book signings, getting books put in if you want to have that happen. We can look at receptions if you want me to come in and mingle with people and be at those receptions. Or are you talking about a retreat that's going to require an entire weekend? Things like that. Another option that we can do is, for example, on retreat weekends, is we can bring in adventure options. That's right. Get out there. We used to do this a lot more, at least when I was going through college, we did this a lot more, and it kind of phased out with some of the companies' financing and budgets, but it's actually one of the most amazing things, is getting out there and doing high adventure activities, maybe a little rock climbing, getting out into a canyon, going hiking, doing hiking through canyon walls, through river hikes, things like this. There's all kinds of options that we can consider for you and your team. Or maybe you just want a nice, mellow, chill-out weekend, and you just want something relaxing and soothing. Whatever it is, we can talk about it. Now, you might be thinking, hey, this sounds amazing. This sounds great. I really am sold. I want to go forward with this. But my company is really limited. I'm on a budget. And I just don't know. Most keynote speakers, most people that have your experience, your expertise, your credentials, I can't afford them. So again, you know what? Let's talk, because my work's in compassion, and it's more important to me to get the work out there and find something that is in your budget, because I know that whatever your budget is, I can work with it, and we can make it happen. We can make something incredible happen. So we can talk about that too. What is your budget? That's another thing that we need to consider when we're talking about what's going to be best for you, your employees, and your company to make it thrive. So when we look at that, all kinds of factors, and it could be if I'm traveling through your area already, that would save you on travel expenses. We might be able to work something out like throwing in some extras for a certain amount of money, like extra reception time or books or things like that. There's all kinds of extras and different things that we can talk about depending on what your needs are, what the situation is, how many people we're talking about, and what the event is. So don't let any of it deter you. Whatever your budget is, I work with all different kinds of groups. Matter of fact, one of the things that I've put together along the way is called the Compassion Tour, and I even fundraise for organizations. I have an animal rescue group that I'm working on putting together a fundraiser for right now. I'm working on putting together things for Chiari and things like that. So there are a variety of different things that I'm always working on, and 90% of what I bring in on those events actually goes back to the organization, which is doing amazing work. And I like to bring out those personalized touches again. So that's just to let you know as an example. I've got a heart, and I'm not here to just set solid to an almighty dollar. What I want to do is find a working solution that's going to make it worth my time, but is also going to give you the value you need and help your company thrive in the budget you've got to work with. Contact me, Jessie at JessieAnnNicholsGeorge1, that's the number 1.com. I'm looking forward to hearing from you and bringing in thriving success to you and your employees. Namaste.